Bonjour, hello, this is my son speaking. Today I came with HEC-RAS that I ran on a catchment in KwaZulu-Natal province, where there are two dams, the Midimar Dam and also the Albertville Dam. Yeah, this is the effect of inundation. That's it, I ran one without dam and one with having dam on place. So this is the result. As you can see. You can see the particle tracing particles, flow tracing particles. You see. You can see them. You can see it. So to run this, I need some data, precipitation data, and also land use data, like this one, land cover data, to calculate the N value, the roughness coefficient, mining roughness coefficient, and terrain data as well, to extract everything, the digital division model. So this is the result I obtained. Let me show you where the dam is located and what structure, so the type of the river course and so on. I will show you first the area, then I will continue and see, for example, especially the hydraulic property of the flow when the inundation increases, or in places where, in different places the flow number acts differently. So I would say this is the Midimar Dam. I know Midimar Dam. I have visited Midimar Dam. So you see, you can see Midimar Dam. There is a city called HEC, the downstream side of the. Then the HEC Fall. You can see the HEC Fall. Around 150 or maybe more than 100, according to the contour. This one is below. This one is 150. The deviation difference, total deviation difference, maybe. Yes. You see, this is the steering basin, where the fall dissipated energy. Yeah, it is called the Umgeni Gorge or something like that. And you can see this. This is the Albertville Dam. And similarly, there is another fall here that is called Korluf Fall. Similar. You can see the fall is similar, That is Karkluf, Le Valley de Karkluf. As a fall, there is always a steering basin down. That is where the fall dissipates its energy. It's important. So we can see the front number, what it looks like here, and in other places as well. So this is a beautiful KwaZulu-Natal province. Now you can see this is a flow caused by the extreme event and analyzed without having a dam. Actually, the dam will not be included, I think, because the digital elevation, while we are processing the digital elevation model, that the HEC-RAS, I think, assumes that it is a flood. It is a filled land, But after I put the dam, I saw some kind of effect and a reduction of flow or something like that. See, this is one flow without the presence of the dam. But this one is considering the dam. I consider the dam, two dams, for example, here is Midimar Dam. This is Midimar, this is Albert's Fall, this is Midimar Fall. Now you can see here, after I introduced the dam in the valley, you can see the flow tremendously decreased. The flow decreased anyway. It feels like the flow decreased. You can see, it is visible. You see the flow decreased. It seems visibly you can see the concentration of the tracing particles. Now, the HEC-RAS assume there is a dam here because we have introduced a dam, minimal dam here, and try to see the first without a dam. See, it feels like it is too much. Which one is there? This one is there. See? Yeah. Then without it, then with the dam, here also two dams. You see, a little bit reduced. Here also, we can see similar. If we can change, you see it. You see. So that is it. Now to the floor number. Let us see the floor number. See, the flow number is a hydraulic property of a flow, Flow number is an indication of the type of flow, that is critical, subcritical, supercritical flow. And for example, when the flow number is 1, it is critical flow. And when the flow number is more than 1, it is supercritical flow. When the flow number is lower than 1, it means it is subcritical flow. It is a kind of flow, gentle, slow, with low energy, And the supercritical flow is the flow that is very slow, quickly. It is that flow which has tremendous energy. Supercritical flow, and the critical flow is in between the two. So the river may have all of them in different places. You see, for example, here at the Howick Fall, we can see that the flow number is almost too higher. See, at the fall, the flow number is higher. You can see all others You see this, the flow number is higher here, almost 2. Let me put it like this. You see the flow number, it's almost 2. So the analysis is reliable. I mean, it turns, the right thing at the right place. Means HEC-RAS is reliable, very reliable. You see, at the beginning it was here a kind of a gentle flow, subcritical flow. When it arrives at the crest of the fall, that changes into critical and then supercritical. Then it falls into the steering basin where it dissipates its energy, or might be some kind of jump, hydraulic jump, and then it slowly comes into subcritical flow. That is the mechanism the water releases its energy, and it continues flowing gently, subcritical flow. So this is the indication that the HEC-RAS is working well. You can see similarly at the other fall, Karluf, here is the same thing. This is also the same thing. Yeah, it flows. Front number is high here also. So this is the consideration of extreme weather event. Actually, this might not occur. This kind of event might not occur because I use extreme, very extreme event. So to see the effect of the inundation, you see. So virtually now you can see that, for example, here. This is an agricultural land. Actually, this is a wetland, similarly here also, this one is also a wetland. We can see it clearly, that is visible. You see, this area is a wetland. This area, the Lion River and the Umgeni River comes from Myanmar. You see, this is a wetland. And the HEC-RAS clearly shows that this area will be inundated if that extreme flood comes. So similarly here at Karkluf Falls also, there is a wetland area, and the surface is like a reservoir, lowland area, and a convex surface, and it can hold much of the water, because of here the restriction, narrow passage, most of the water will accumulate there. You see, it is possible to build a dam around this area, so that it's possible to store the water around this reservoir. But now it is a farmland, it's a clear farmland. And it's a wetland, you can say. So you must not put your money here in the future, and also here, because if that flood comes, the flood that has high intensity, actually not only high intensity rain, but the flood occurs because of high intensity rain, and also even if it is low intensity rain, but if that rains for a longer period of time, then the the antecedent moisture condition will change. The water will be, saturated. The land will be saturated, and then the effective rain will become high, increase, and then flooding comes. So that is a very good indication, I think, of the effect of rain here. You can see clearly. For example, this area is a land where there is no water, much water, but when the flood increases, it will be affected by the inundation, much greater than the other part of the area. This one also, Lion River. So this indicates that HEC-RAS is a reliable software model, wonderful model, hydrological model. It is worth knowing it or having it, especially for the hydraulics of the river ridge. You can see here the velocity also. Velocity. You can see the velocity also. How velocity, normally the velocity of the river is low, 1 meter per second, 2 meters per second is normal, except in some places, in areas where there is fall, where there is higher slope and so on. Then the water normally flows gently, keeping its environment, in a perfect condition. Sometimes it changes its course because of the increased velocity and so on. That's why we do river training work and so on, to keep the course in the same place. Most of the time, rivers, when they increase the velocity or the discharge and so on, they tend to erode and change their courses. If there is a structure around that area or an institution or building and so on, slowly it might affect it. It may cause damage, So that is wonderful. HEC-RAS can tell us everything about this. And it's wonderful. You can see the flow. This is velocity. Well, the red is higher velocity, and the other, the blue is very low velocity, gentle. Very slow velocity, subcritical flow. Here also. So this is Midimar and Albert Four. And it is wonderful to see, to visualize and see where the effect is. Simply, without having any numbers or anything else. You need to have all those numbers, velocity and so on, if you want to study in detail each and everything. But generally, you can see that where the flooding might occur if an extreme event occurs. That is, so it's very simple to run the model, HEC-RAS, as long as you have the right data. Set up, this is the data, You need to have the digital elevation model of the area. And also the land cover. This is, you can see the land cover and see the N value. This one is Durban area. This is in Dabadam. And this one is Pietermaritzburg. And this is Howick. This is from Langa. This is Pinetown and so on. So that is it. You have seen the flow, the natural flow of the river, Umgeni River, the Diamond River, and this one is KwaZulu-Natal River. This is Afrikaner area, or what? The name suggests that it's not English, or they are KwaZulu-Natal Afrikaner, I think. Whatever that is, you have seen the flow number. How wonderful HEC-RAS is. See, this is the dam, okay, let us see, this is the dam now. The dam that I introduced, Middlemar Dam. You can remove this. This is Middlemar Dam. This is Albert Dam. See it? That's it. That is HEC-RAS, and HEC-RAS is wonderful software. HEC-RAS also bring the Google satellite, Google map, and so on. It's very, very comfortable and easy to use. Very easy to use. Actually, the very important thing for me is not actually running the model, but interpreting the model and knowing that the data also, whether it is sufficient enough to explain the situation in the ground. That needs also knowledge. It's not simply you put something and expect something different. It can't be. You have to know the data itself. Then also the results, able to interpret the results, the hydraulics and the hydrology. Actually, hydraulics and hydrology can't be separated. Anyone who knows hydraulics or hydrology should know also hydraulics. The courses are different, but they help each other, hydraulics and hydrology. It's important to have the knowledge of both, to be a hydraulician or hydraulics, or a person who knows hydrology, catchment and so on, study the groundwater also knowledge is also important. Yeah, I can see, knowing the ArcGIS or the software, or as a geographer, for example, they know the ArcGIS. So what? If you have to have the knowledge of the hydrology and hydraulics, engineering especially, so that you can analyze, interpret the data, and formulate your conclusion based on the result. So that is wonderful. That's South Africa is beautiful, beautiful. It's a land of plenty, green land, very wonderful country. That is it. Merci beaucoup for listening.